A couple had raised a human and sheep-like organism. They care very much about that small, childlike human and named him Ida. But they didn't know that Ada's existence would one day cause the destruction of his entire family. In fact, a few months ago, on a freezing night, the sounds of heavy and dangerous breaths began to echo around the farm. Sheep began to mimian with restless, as a bloody call has awakened them. Then a female sheep came out between the scream of heavy steps, lying gently on the ground, and the rest of the sheep remained gently watching this scene. After that night, the same sheep became pregnant. After some time, he was born a sheep head and a bizarre creature with a human body. Farmers were stunning to see it. They thought this is a godly miracle. The wife picked that small sheep child into lap, cleaned up, prepared milk for her, and started crashing like her child. The husband took an old cradle and gave Ida to him. In fact, many years ago, the couple had lost their real child and had lost the ability to become a Wendy mother after that accident. So they assumed that this small child is God's give a second chance. But from the same day, the female sheep gave birth to Ida. She started coming to the farm every day to find her child. The couple would pull him off and put Ida by the chest. One day when both left Ida alone at home, coming back when she was missing, both started getting nervous and finally found Ida in the back mountains with her real mother. They started taking Ida to lap, but the female sheep continued running from behind. Wendy looked back and the sheep stopped frightening and they returned home with Ida. That night, when Ida was sleeping peacefully cradled, both felt pleasant like a family. Wendy often took Ida on a walk to the farms, and gradually they forgot that Ida wasn't really human. One night, Wendy saw a scary dream. A lot of male sheep and it staring with her glowing eyes. She waked off the shock, and then came the sound of sheep tailing from outside. She slowly peeped off the window. The same female sheep came to find her child then. Wendy didn't leave him this time. He picked up the gun, came out slowly, and shot the sheep, then took the body away and buried. Returning home, he washed the soil and blood with his clothing, as if nothing happened. That night, a dense beard man was sleeping in the warehouse of Wendy's husband's brother farm. In half sleep, he saw a big horn blown lie one in front of him. When she looked carefully, she was missing. In the morning when he reached Wendy's home, it was observed that the entire family was having breakfast, and the spouses proudly introduced their daughter, Ida. But as he saw Ida, he remembered the same huge sheep-head creature last night. After breakfast, when Wendy took to shower Ida and came to her lap, the brother couldn't believe that her younger brother was paving a monster as his daughter. If he couldn't do anything, he went from there. The next day, when the elder brother again saw Ida, he had a very disgrace and bad idea in his mind. He went to Ida with some grass and tried to do something, but then his brother came. He raged Ida in anger and gave his brother a tough warning. Brother didn't understand all this at all. That night, when the husband had slept, the brother quietly awakened Ida and took him to the forest with a hunting gun. He wanted to kill Ida, but at the last moment his heart melted and he left him. On the other hand, when Wendy's sleep opened and she saw Ida disappearing, she ran out. Then she breathed relief as Ida was sleeping near her uncle in the hall. After this incident, brother gradually accepted Ida. He also started going to fish and play with him now. One day, the entire family was watching football matches on TV. The three adults were very excited, but Ida wasn't interested in the match. She quietly sat in a corner and looked at everyone. Wendy realized that Ida was feeling alone, so she stopped TV, running music, and started dancing by holding Ida. But Ida still couldn't understand the human owl. She quietly got out and started thinking of playing with the shepherd's dog. The dog was looking in a direction. Ida also looked around. She remained stunning. Show him reflected in his eyes, an elevated sheep head and human body creature. She immediately ran to the warehouse and saw in the glaze. They're the same form, the same sheep and human body. She was deeply confused and drowned in fear throughout the moment. At night, she was lying in father's arms and looking at the painting of Tanji Shirwa on the wall. He felt slowly that he wasn't of this house. That night, when father and Ida had slept, brother suddenly tried rudeness with Wendy. Wendy immediately rejected him, but then the brother said, he knows everything, that you killed Ida's real mother's sheep and threw his body into the farm. Wendy remained. To hide this secret, he showed false adoption, and on spot the brother locked in the room. But she knew that it wasn't a permanent solution. After thinking, he took the thought, she'll destroy the brother from here. When she saw that husband and Ida are still sleeping, she quietly moved out of the farm with the brother and led her to a distant dam. During the same time, the husband awakened. There was no wife or brother at home. So he went to the lakeshore with Ida, where he went to see tomorrow's net. But then, the huge monster with the same sheep head and human body suddenly attacked them and killed Wendy's husband with a gun. Ida embraced her father's body in grief. Then that monster took him up. He was Ida's real father. Ida had huge grief in mind, yet she went with her organic father. On the way, Wendy just didn't know her husband had been killed. She felt very light after sending her brother. But when she returned home, see, both husband and Ida are missing. Sheep of Sheep was also killed. She started to find the entire farm, and a few minutes later, she got her husband's body on the banks of the lake. She broke down,